Welcome to the Land Rover experience and your new Land Rover vehicle. For a new owner, this is often an exciting time. It's always very tempting to see straight away what your vehicle can do. However, the design of a four-wheel drive can be quite different from a conventional car. And although your dealer will have explained the vehicle's controls to you, it's always wise to spend some time with the driver's handbook before venturing out. As with any specialized product, there are a few extra things that are worth knowing that will enhance your enjoyment of your new Land Rover still further. And this video is designed to supplement the handbook by showing you some of those special features. The first Land Rover was sold in 1948, and although there's been a lot of progress made since then, Land Rover have ensured that the strength, durability and off-road supremacy live on in every vehicle sold up to the present day. That means that Land Rovers are still used as dependable transport in some of the world's most hostile conditions. And that continues to be dramatically demonstrated every year in the Camel Trophy, one of the most punishing events on both man and machine ever devised. This is what we mean by the Land Rover experience. Over 45 years spent designing, refining and perfecting the world's finest four-wheel drives. It means that our vehicles are more complex than some, but with a little added knowledge, driving them is no more difficult, but a great deal more rewarding. For instance, all Land Rover vehicles today have permanent four-wheel drive, giving you maximum stability and traction at all times and in all conditions. You don't have to anticipate trouble in advance, and you have the reassurance of greater security on road too, in a sudden rain shower or on a greasy road. A four-wheel drive layout involves extra features in your vehicle, such as an extra differential in the transmission transfer case. In your Land Rover, you also have another gearbox giving both high and low gear ranges and a differential lock. The high-range gears work conventionally, but the low range is provided for extreme off-road work, climbing or descending steep hills or towing very heavy loads. You can change between the two by using the extra short gear shift on the central transmission tunnel. Note that neutral is between the high and low positions, so always make sure that the correct gear is firmly engaged. Indeed, if you ever suspect that power is not being transmitted to the wheels, the position of the transfer lever is the first thing to check. On the Discovery and Defender, the differential lock is engaged by pushing the transfer case gear shift to the left. The differential lock is there to avoid wheel spin that could strand the vehicle on loose or slippery surfaces. However, it should only be engaged in such conditions. Damage could result from its use on hard surfaces. When you're back on the road, disengage the differential lock by pushing back to the right. The dashboard warning light will go out after a couple of seconds delay. This situation is no problem in the Range Rover because it has a viscous coupling unit, a device that automatically locks and unlocks the center differential when it senses wheel spin. And high and low ranges are simply selected by moving the gear shift across the H-gate. All those differentials and the two gearboxes are designed to work as smoothly as possible, but depending on the sort of vehicle you've been driving, a little more transmission noise than you're used to may result. The steering system is also designed for off-road work as well as on-road, and once again may feel different from cars that you've driven. Together with a live axle at the front as well as the back, a feature that's almost essential to maintain ground clearance off-road, the steering is designed to be accurate on-road but absorb heavy off-road shocks. Sometimes on our poorer roads, you may feel some kickback through the steering wheel, but this does not affect the stability or the steerability of the vehicle. In all Land Rovers, the brakes use large discs to work as efficiently as possible even in wet conditions. Some models have an ABS or anti-lock braking system. This can be invaluable in an emergency stop on wet or slippery surfaces as it prevents the wheels from locking up. You can feel the ABS working by a pulsation through the brake pedal. When this happens, it's important to maintain the pressure on the brake pedal to obtain the maximum stopping power. Not only does it lower the risk of a skid, but you can retain steering control, avoiding an obstacle even under heavy braking. Caution should always be used when driving on loose surfaced roads, whether the vehicle has anti-lock braking or not. A valuable safety feature of the braking system is that the handbrake operates through a separate drum brake mounted on the rear of the transfer box. This means that it has a very short action and is exceptionally powerful. However, because the handbrake is actioned through the axles, there's a little free play, which you may notice when releasing the foot brake on a steep hill. The little lurch is simply the free play being taken up, and is quite normal. It will hold the vehicle on much steeper slopes than a normal design because it locks all four wheels, not just the rear ones. Lastly, because the handbrake operates so directly on the central drum brake, it should not be used when the vehicle is still in motion, except in an emergency. The stop will be so sudden that damage could result. Whether your vehicle has the well-proven long coil suspension or Range Rover's advanced electronic air suspension, you'll find that it provides a remarkable blend of ride comfort and axle articulation for maximum grip in the worst off-road conditions. Thanks to their efficient engines and lightweight aluminium bodywork, all Land Rovers today can achieve fuel economy figures that are very competitive in their class. However, they are physically large vehicles, and inevitably the consumption will be higher than most conventional cars. And like so many aspects of driving, actual consumption depends on many different factors. Often, a fuel consumption figure is quoted that has been obtained through official government tests, and although such figures are possible, day-to-day consumption depends on how, when and where the vehicle is driven. Nevertheless, Land Rover have ensured that all petrol models in Australia need only normal, low-octane, unleaded fuel, so you can be sure of finding the right fuel wherever you go. Also very reassuring on long journeys is Land Rover's Customer Care Assist. It's a 24-hour-a-day, 7 days a week emergency roadside assistance service that will come to your aid should you be unlucky enough to have an accident or mechanical breakdown. The customer care welcome package given to you with your vehicle contains the toll-free number that you can call for emergency help. It will connect you with an operator who is in contact with a network of mobile assistance units right across the country. However, for minor problems or any sort of query, your local Land Rover dealer is always ready to help. The Land Rover dealer network has been specially trained to know your vehicle inside out, and it is their express aim that you are totally satisfied with your vehicle, so always be sure to use their experience. In fact, in conjunction with Rover Australia, the Land Rover dealers are participating in an ongoing research survey to measure the levels of customer satisfaction both with their vehicle and the service received from their dealer. If you receive one of these surveys shortly after buying your vehicle, we do urge you to complete and return it. It's only by getting full and representative response that we can ensure that we are striving for the highest possible standards. Because Land Rover builds only four-wheel drives, both they and their dealer network are enthusiasts for the world of four-wheel driving. We're sure that with your new vehicle, you too will enjoy the Land Rover experience.